Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 2nd of December to you all. If you haven't got your advent calendar item yet, it's a little one. Though some people may have one that's a little bit fatter. They are the same thing. They're just slightly packaged different depending on when you got your advent. But this is day 2. So day 2 of our advent calendar is, okay, let's just rip into that. Day 2 is some square diamond dust drills. Colours will be completely different. Some of them are in a pot, some of them are in a packet. It is exactly the same amount. So what goes in a packet is what actually fits in a pot. So you have got the same amount, just potentially in different formats. But yes, a lovely little one to add to your stash that you never know when may come in useful. Don't actually have this colour in the diamond painting. I just thought I'd check by off chance because I don't sort of screen what ends up in mine. It's just a matter of, what ends up in my advent calendar ends up in my advent calendar. But yes, we are on section 2 today. So we're doing a little bit of the rainbow. I'm just having a look at my edges. I think I'm going to move this one over ever so slightly, just so that I can include that row, because it was as good as included anyway. It just wouldn't have let my diamonds sit down quite nice enough. And I'm going to start with black again. Let's pop my number 2 in my case, just to keep them safe, because if I ever have a diamond painting this big again, I can always use them and set myself the challenge. But let's zoom you in. Oh, Catherine is currently baking. If you're hearing clatters and bangs, she's just dropped something. It was quite a light clatter and bang, Catherine.
It was my tablespoons.
Oh, it was her tablespoons. A little measuring thing. She's currently doing some baking. But yeah, I hope everybody had an amazing 1st of December and enjoyed your advent items, whatever they may be. And I hope you also enjoyed your me time, because of course that is well and truly needed in this busy season. At the weekend, because I filmed these the day before, of course I filmed Mondays on Friday. We did get the tree up over the weekend. We did also have the couch arrive and found somewhere for the old couch to go, which is good. It's well and truly needed to make sure that the old one had somewhere to go. But yes, so we've got a new, slightly smaller couch. I think the proportions fit this room a lot better, even though we have since then, of course, added the tree. There is a chair that we have in our conservatory as sort of as a separate seating area. I'm actually going to move that into the shop. It'll probably get in my way, but I can handle it for the month of December while the tree's up. And it'll keep the room feeling bigger if we basically swap the chair for the tree. But yeah, tree's up. Did a little mini shopping trip with Catherine on Sunday to get some more baubles for the tree.
Sorry, where did my chocolate chips go?
Don't know.
I left them on the side.
Your dad tidied up. He may have popped them in a bag or popped them in the wrong cupboard.
Oh,
Sorry, Catherine. She's lost her chocolate chips. But hubby did a tidy up of the kitchen last night because, as you can imagine, with Christmas decorations coming out, There are Christmas boxes everywhere. In fact, there still are. That is one of my plans for today / tomorrow, because I've got quite a few orders that need doing. Is to get the Christmas decorations finalised and get the boxes back in the loft so that they are out of the way and get the house straight again, so that I can continue to do a whip and waffle without feeling as though I'm covered in chaos. The table is already covered in glitter from doing the decorations, so if you spot any glitter, that's what that is. But yeah, on Sunday I needed more baubles for my Christmas tree. So for my Christmas tree I have individual sort of white or silver decorations that I've picked up over the years. So they're all different, they're all, you know, some are silver, some are white, some are a mixture of the two, but they're all different decorations. And then I had for last year, I had a set of copper type colour baubles that gave a bit of colour to the tree. And this year, because we've got the new couch and the couch is blue, I wanted to match the tree with the couch. I prefer to match it with the room, or, you know, have a general matchy vibe as much as possible, because I find then it doesn't end up annoying me before Christmas has even started. So yeah, we wanted blue, and we picked up a few from the range the other week, but it didn't have enough blue on it. So Catherine and I nipped out yesterday. We went to another great UK store, to be fair, B&M, and we found loads of navy blue, or the deeper blue baubles. So we got those. We also did a load of shopping for stockings, for the kids' stockings, because their main presents, I need to go and pick one thing up, but apart from that, they're done. The kids were done apart from their stockings. So while we were there, we did their stockings, did all the stocking items, and yeah, then I even ended up nipping and getting Luna some bits. So she's done. So I am pretty much done for Christmas. Say, have one thing that we need to pick up that we'll probably pick up at some point this week. And then there's a couple of things that are due to be delivered, but as soon as they're delivered, they'll get wrapped. So yeah, very happy that I am done. We did that on Sunday, so I am pretty much done by December 1st, which is always my plan every year. Doesn't always happen. There's normally a couple of little straggly bits, a bit like there is this year. But yeah, it's good to have them done. What, can you still not find them? I'm
actually baffled. I don't know where he's put them.
Okay, bear with me a moment. Okay.
I had more than I thought.
We found them. He put them underneath something in one of the cupboards, which is what caused the confusion. Because she checked the cupboards, but she's like, that's been there for ages. But he put them underneath it. Anyway. All found. Chocolate chips have been found. Catherine can go back to making cookies. What train of thought was I on? Oh, Christmas shopping. Yes. Ever since working in retail, I've always tried to get Christmas shopping done. Sort of, when the kids were in school, I used to start with little bits come September. but I've always tried to get everything done by the beginning of December. And if it wasn't for the likes of my hair and nails that are actually based in the town centre, I would not go in the town centre at all during the month of December. It's just carnage. It's far too much carnage for me. I don't enjoy it at all. So yeah, yesterday me and Catherine went out for baubles, ended up nipping a few more shops, all on the basis of trying to tick pretty much as possible off my Christmas shopping list so that I can say that I am done. So yeah, so this week I'm hoping to get the Christmas decorations finalised in the loft, hopefully the beginning of the week, get things back straight. I've got some wrapping to do. Catherine enjoys wrapping, so she's been doing a lot, but of course there are some things she can't do. So I'm hoping to get my Christmas wrapping finished. And yeah, just try and get everything straight. I've got quite a few restocks I need to do in the shop, especially diamond dust drills. There's quite a few colours in the squares, especially now that are getting really low. So I need to spend some time doing those at some point. But I can still sort of pack orders, even if I'm packing the colours as I go. So that will be a job for probably the later end of the week. But yeah, and then hopefully we can see how things go, and things will be a little bit steadier and easier, and just enjoying each day as it comes, plodding along, as they say, day by day until the big day. But I do have more comments, questions, etc. Most of these were left, of course, on Friday's Whip and Waffle video, because I am sort of a day ahead of everybody else. Look, we also got a tree skirt, because normally we don't particularly bother. We've got a couple of older Christmas sacks that we use to cover up the bottom of the tree, and we put presents under the tree once they're wrapped, so it doesn't stay on show for long. So anyway, I picked up a tree skirt when I was at B&M because they had a gorgeous navy one, and I thought that'll be perfect. We can still put the presents all underneath it. Well, for some reason Luna loves the smell of it. So all I keep hearing is the baubles tapping, because she is sniffing the tree skirt because she enjoys it. I don't know what it is, the smell of it, or what it is that's setting her off. But yeah, she just keeps going under the tree and sniffing it, and then two baubles will tap together and she'll jump. And then she goes sticking her head under the tree again. Joys of pets. Okay. Back to comments, which is where I was going before the bauble sounds started. But Anne, she says she's in hospital, so she's paying attention. Well, I hope all is well. That is definitely a way to get a little bit of me time, for sure. Make sure you are looking after yourself though, because it sounds like you need me time even more so. Oh. Keep opening and closing the door for Luna. Yeah, hopefully you are looking after yourself and taking care, and hopefully it's nothing too serious, and that everything will be back to whatever your chaotic normal is very soon. Kim, she says, now that the weather is colder, She finds that her blankets are forcing her to stay in bed. There is that. There is something so warm and cozy. It took me a bit to get up this morning, to actually get myself going this morning for sure. She says, even though she is awake, she says, alas, she says the furry alarm clock senses that she's awake and starts making her breakfast needs more obvious. I am blessed in that sense. Luna's not too fussed about breakfast and stuff in the morning. She very much likes a lazy morning. She says she tries like heck to stay still. She says, but she knows if my eyes open or something. She says, because as soon as I say in my brain, oh, I'll just stay cuddled under the blankets for a few more minutes, she pops her head up and looks at me, and then the battle is on. She said she normally wins because she puts her face near mine and tells me to get up, and her breath can wake the dead. She said, so she does win the battle. Don't the fur babies often win the battle, to be fair? That's probably why they're called fur babies, no matter what age they are. Because they are just going to win the battle the same way a baby would. They're just too cute, and it's just going to happen. It's probably why Luna's got so many different things for Christmas, because I could have picked her up even more and I had to rein myself in, or she'd have had more presents to open than the other kids would have done. Sammy Lou, oh, she says, so her beautiful children. She says, first, her 3-year-old came crying to her on Thursday morning after playing with the bikes before preschool. And when she asked her what was wrong, she said she didn't know. And one of her other friends said that she'd fell over and was absolutely covered in mud, and has a love cut on her left cheek. Oh dear. She says, and then after school, on the way home, her 6-year-old daughter slipped off her scooter, hit a car, and fell into a ditch and went under the car. She says, thankfully, it was a parked car. She says she has a few grazes on her knee. She says, honestly, she says she thinks she needs to wrap her children up in bubble wrap. Yes, they always go in little phases as well. Do you ever notice? It's like one thing after another, and then all of a sudden, life returns to normal, as much as normal can be. Returns quite calm, and then all of a sudden you think to yourself, oh, things have been quite calm recently, and then the cycle starts all over again. Joys of young children. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, I am using a pen today that was gifted to me by Cindy. So thank you, Cindy. I pick a different pen and tray each day. I have my pens lined up in my little pen holder, and I just pick the next one each time, and then pick a tray that I think matches, because I have an abundance to choose from. Right, I am going to tip a few more in, just in there. The guys have a bit more speed filling in these colours, because I do have a few that are stuck together, but I'll deal with them at a later date, if I deal with them at all. There's not too many, but I don't feel like dealing with them today. So I'll just put some more in my tray instead and go from there. Lady Dax, she says, yay. She says she is watching on the right day. She's caught up. She said 21st of December, she says, is winter solstice. Sorry, I'm just tucking that one in that corner rather than having to move my cover paper. She says, so the longest night of the year. She says it's also the pagan celebration of Yule. So I did get the date right. That's good to know. She says she is racing against the clock to finish Black Lavender Cat, she says, from Diamond Art Club, so that she can kit up Floral Surprise from Diamond Art Studio on Sunday. She says she wants to do that alongside my Advent one. She says, as P. Jelly gave me a Lenovo tablet, which is an early Yule present, and she now has Pattern Keeper and she wants to play. That is awesome. It is so different. It's so much easier to do with that. Say, if my mum has converted, then anybody can convert. My mum has been loving it. So, I mean, she's not using Pattern Keeper only because she has an iPad already. She's chosen to use markup, but she is absolutely loving the way it just changes how you get to do it. And you will so enjoy Floral Surprise as well. It's such fun. Helps if I actually pick up a diamond to pop in that space. Christine, she says, your painting looks great. Thank you, Christine. She says she sees that Dreamer Designs have a painting called Galactic Zen, which looks like mine. She says, see you next week for Advent. Oh, I want to go and have a look now. Dreamer Designs. Oh, hang on. DreamerDesigns.com, and what's it called? Galactic Zen. Oh, get rid of all these annoying pop-ups. Is that it? Galactic Zen? Oh, yes. It is similar to the Out of This World one. It's another space one. That's actually really nice. Maybe I shouldn't have gone and looked at that. I think Hobby would have liked that one as well, to be fair. But he's got one now. Stop sniffing my tree skirt because you're knocking all the baubles. I don't know what it is with the smell of that tree skirt. I nearly took it off to see what she'd do, to see if she wants to lie down on it or something. But then I decided I couldn't be bothered untying the bows again. Because then I'd have to back them back up. But yeah, Galactic Zen looks very, very similar. I've actually closed the tab now. I'm not sure if it was the same artist or not. But yeah, it is a very nice looking painting, I will say. Nellie, she says, hello, Rebecca. She says, firstly, Merry Christmas. She says, and a Happy New Year to you and the family. Thank you, Nellie. Can't believe it's pretty much getting that time of year as well. I know. Another sidetrack story, which is probably good because these are pretty big sections. We have lots of chatting to do. But we must have had pretty much every single type of courier arrive at this house on Saturday. It felt like it. Hubby was like, do I have to keep getting this door? Like we were both up and down like a yo-yo. And what started off with the couch being delivered, which was before 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, can I say, not fun. But anyway, then there was just all sorts of things turning up. Things both for the business and not for me, for the kids, you know, it just felt never ending. So another thing Catherine and I did yesterday while at B&M was we just got loads of different bags of sweets, which are either lollies or candy, depending on where you live. Yeah, we just got loads of different bags of sweets, and we are now just going to trade every courier or postie that arrives at the door. We're going to trade them. They'll give us, of course, our parcel, and we will give them a bag of sweets to keep them going, because we figured they're currently in the absolute thick of it that just will not seem to end until Christmas. And while December is a very busy month for me, it's not quite as manic as getting Advent out of the door. So I currently feel a little bit calmer. We shall see how calm. Sorry, that's hubby returning the phone call to where the chocolate drops were. I've lost train of thought again. Oh my goodness me, how bitty is this whip and waffle at all? But yeah, we've got a bag of treats for any potential delivery drivers that come. That was it. So yeah, even though I'm still busy during December, it's not as manic as it gets earlier on in the year for me. But I do know for couriers, it's just, they're probably just dreading the whole month. So we figured something that we can potentially do that won't cost an absolute arm and a leg, but would be, because of the amount of deliveries we potentially get. With 6 people in the house and many of them Christmas shopping, it can get a bit full on. Yeah, we've just got them a little bit of a treat to hopefully make their day a little bit better and give them a bit of a sugar rush as well. We figured a sugar rush can't do any harm in December. But yeah, she says, Happy New Year to you and your family. She says a question. She needs help, she says, with a diamond painting that she purchased from Temu. Ooh. She says, which she started, she says, but it's not as sticky and the beads won't stick to the canvas. She says, have you got any idea of what she can do? She says she knows she can use adhesive, but she's not hot on which brands are good. Sometimes if it's a poured glue type canvas, you can take the cover off if you can find somewhere safe to put it. Take the cover off and leave it for a bit. It's like it's not cured properly and therefore not got sticky enough. I think sometimes that can help. But otherwise, I've never particularly had to use another adhesive on top of the ones that I've already got, apart from once when there was no glue on the corner of a painting, and I just used PVA glue, which was primarily because that's what I had to hand. That's the main reason I use PVA glue. But if you don't have something, I know Diamond Dots do an adhesive that, as far as I know, is really good. So maybe if you can find that, trying to think, where is it? You might find it at Spotlight, because you're in Australia, aren't you? You might find Diamond Dots adhesive at Spotlight that might work the best for you to be able to get your canvas sticky again. If anybody's got any suggestions, I'm sure they will shout out, but Nellie's in Australia, if that helps. Leslie says, hi Rebecca. She says she does love my diamond painting, which is the Out of This World from Dreamer Designs. She says it's very beautiful. She says she also loves my whip and chat. She says, anyway, please keep safe and well. Thank you. That is definitely my plan. Planning on keeping safe, well, out of the absolute Christmas madness and in my nice little Christmas bubble as much as possible. We'll still have trips out and stuff. Me and hubby still like to go out on Friday night, and we've got a couple of bits to pick up, but I will be mainly avoiding the madness and staying safe in my little bubble, and just diamond painting away. I've been really enjoying using the decision wheel to decide what painting I'm going to do. It has now since picked at least every single one, but I have a decision wheel and it has on it an AMZ mini painting, so because I want to get those done. It has my Heaven and Earth design for me to do a section of that. It has my chart to art, it has my paint gem, and it has my out of this world Dreamer Designs. Oh, actually, it's not picked that one yet. It's actually not picked the Out of This World painting yet. However, Out of This World is also my default. So, like, if it picks Paint Gem, I'll do a Paint Gem and then I'll move on to my Out of This World. Same as when I did the Heaven and Earth design section that it picked. I actually did a full section of my Heaven and Earth design, so that hopefully we'll have some progress come January. How much? I don't know. It's only picked it once so far, but you know, one is as good as any. Yeah, and then I actually did move on to my Out of This World painting after that, my Spaceman painting. And I did that. It has picked Chart to Art a couple of times. I don't always move on to do Out of This World after that one, just because that one takes a bit longer. I also didn't when it picked the Admiral Zest mini painting. I just kept going all evening. But I am really enjoying doing the little decision wheel as to which diamond painting I'm going to work on. Because yeah, it's fun. It's fun to not quite know what I'm going to work on, but enjoy it anyway. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit of order in this. Do we do order, or do we just go for it? No, we're going to do order. I'm going to get this yellow finished off up the top, because I feel like I want to sort of finish this strip of the rainbow before I move on to the green that is scattered in the trees as well. Okay, Cat Lady. Cat Lady's always up to stuff at the minute since the house move. But she says it's been a busy few days. She says they have rearranged furniture in the lounge / diner this afternoon. Because this afternoon they put new carpets down. She says, so lifting said furniture again. That is the only thing. Sometimes it is never ending. She says she came up for a rest. She says, up to her craft room, I'm guessing. She says, and her video was waiting. My video was waiting. Words today. She says she might start wrapping and packing over the weekend. She says, but they do have another delivery tomorrow. She said it is bedroom furniture for the second bedroom. Well, you'll need that for your guests. She says, so flat pack building again. Oh, the joys. She says they're also going to some craft markets on Sunday too. So a busy week. She says she's hoping next week is quieter. Do you know what? I keep saying that to myself sometimes as well. Sometimes that's the only thing that keeps me going. It's just saying, next week will be quieter. Next week will be a bit easier. Next week the house won't be a mess. And then something happens and it sends it all a mess again. She says when they had their dog, she said it wasn't until she went deaf that she actually got to see any fireworks. She said she had to put music on loud, read at the table, and she hid behind her legs. Oh, bless. She says the cats just ignore the bangs. Yeah, I feel like Cats are a bit tougher when it comes to things like that. A bit more, I will not let this bother me type stubborn for cats. Okay, next one. I'm going to get these 2 single ones before I go in for the big ones. And let's fill this part of the rainbow in. Dorobi Punk, she says she is very much looking forward to the Advent event and unpacking daily lovely goodies. She says, thank you for keeping me company while she diamond paints. You are more than welcome. And yeah, it's great. It's great fun. I opened first one of my quilting Advent this morning, which was a panel and a pattern with a project on it. So that might be something that I do in the future. It's more of a wall panel, but I do actually really like sort of the design of it. You can use it to make a table runner and things as well. So I'm going to have a look. I don't particularly have any use for a wall panel, but I do think the pattern can potentially be used for me to use it to then make something else. I just need to decide what. But for that, I actually need some potential quilting time as well. So we'll see what happens there. I'm kind of hoping I can squeeze some in next weekend. I was hoping to this weekend, but it got took over with Christmas. So we'll go for next weekend instead, because it's been a while since I've done some. Okay, got a diamond that just got stuck partway down there. Just had to kick it out of the way. Right, number 7, because I want to fill in these little gaps before I do the solids. Julia, she says this year, during the December event, she said she's going to work on her stash as she has a new baby who's was born in October. Oh, bless. First Christmas coming up. And she has 63 canvases that are 30 by 40 or smaller. Well, hopefully you do get that little bit of me time. What are we talking? October, November, December. Okay, so we're not yet moving, which is always more chance of you being able to get your little bit of me time, or at least diamond painting your me time, because it's not something you have to pack out of the reach of little hands all the time. But yeah, hopefully even if you can't diamond paint, you get a little bit of me time in another way, even if it's just going and taking a nice relaxing bath or something, and just getting to chill out for a little bit. That would also be really good. Blossom Chops, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, talking about sleep, she said as she's got older, she's also been finding that getting to sleep and staying asleep more difficult. I definitely find the getting to sleep. Depends what time of the month it is a lot, to be fair, as to whether it's tricky or how late I have stayed up. If I stay up later, I can often fall asleep fairly quick. But when I try to get a decent full night's sleep, that's when I struggle more so, which is kind of annoying. It's like I'm doing the right thing and I get punished. She says, however, she says she has recently been making herself a cup of Twining's herbal sleep tea to take to bed, she said, and she's finding it's really helping. She says she drinks it without milk and with one sweetener. She says as she's currently ran out of her favoured honey. She says not only does this help her drop off, she says, but if she gets up for a pit stop, she says she does find that she can drop off again more easily. She says a box of 40 Twinings sleep bags, she says, are available on Amazon. She says, however, if you want to try them, there is a lovely little tin, she says, containing 2 sleep and 2 glow tea bags, she says. So if you don't like them, at least you'll have something to use afterwards. I like that idea. I like that idea. The only problem I have is I don't drink tea. I don't drink tea at all. I've never been a fan of tea. Never particularly wanted to drink tea. Even the likes of herbal or mint tea just is never something that has interested me. And I think that's where I'd hit the problem myself. It's just the fact that it's a tea drink. And trying to make myself drink that before bed and then lying there thinking about the fact that I drank tea that I don't like would probably do me more harm than good, to be fair. But hopefully it will help somebody else who's not able to catch their sleep the same. But yeah, I do have the benefit of, if I do need to sleep in a bit longer in the morning because I've not been able to sleep at night, I can do that. I often don't allow myself to, but if it does get, quite a few nights on the run, then I do have that flexibility at least. I don't have to drag myself out of bed to go to a job out in the big wide world, which is a blessing in itself. Okay, sorry, I'm just keep pushing a few of the others while we get these last little stripes done. Ellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, wow. She says, thank you for the whip and waffle. She says she started watching on Friday. She says they have a routine. She says Dean was preparing tea. She says she gets the chase ready for him to watch, and then she gets her headphones in and YouTube paused, she says, while waiting for their meal. She says they don't have a dining table. She says as the flat is way too small. So she tends to hold her plate as close to her chin as possible. She said, especially if she has veg that can roll off her fork. She said Friday was fish, chips and mushy peas. Ooh, that's a good Friday meal. That's a good Friday meal. She says Dean walked in. She says passed her a plate and bang, she says fireworks started. She then ended up balancing her plate with Dottie insisted on sitting on her. She says she is 25 kilo plus. Oh my goodness me. She says not body shaming her. She says, but there were 3 and she started shaking straight away. She says, my poor baby. Oh, it's such a shame, isn't it? Because it's not like you can explain it to them either. She says she doesn't understand why she's so bad this year. She says, yes, she says they will look into something that can help her. She says it is now Sunday evening. She says she hopes that everybody who isn't okay is being kind to themselves. She says she hopes that the Zesty who had knee surgery is being kind to herself. She said, and yes, painkillers can be bad. She says, but if needed for your recovery, please be kind to yourself. She says also, she says the little one who has hurt her collarbone, she says she hopes that she is doing well. Little ones are definitely meant to keep you on your toes. That is so true. She says, sorry, she's hopeless at remembering names. Me too. She says, thinking of you all. She says, thanks again. Yes, luckily YouTube gives me names, but sometimes, yeah, remembering names, especially when there's often different usernames on YouTube to what there is on orders or Facebook posts, that can sometimes get me. I'm getting better with some, but it's been a few years. It's been a few years till we've got there. Some things will just stick in my mind and other things will not, no matter how much I want them to. So it's always fun. And then Melissa, she says she is sat here chuckling. She says at the whole cat taunting Luna topic. Oh yes, tell you, if I could video it, you can see in the cat's eyes. You can well and truly see the malicious intent. It is fully there. And yeah, if it was her own garden that she was taunting from, I would be well and truly behind the cat. Even though I'm not a cat fan, primarily because I'm allergic. But when the cat is not even in her own garden, like we're not talking the fence between her garden and ours, the cat is nowhere near her own garden and taunts the dog, then I think she's just vicious. She's just mean. She says it reminds her of when they lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan. She says she can't wait for me to try to say that. Well, I have no idea if I got that right or not, but I read that as Kalamazoo. She says they were on a ground floor unit. She said where the ground comes up to the living room window, and they had a family of black squirrels that loved to come up to their window and taunt their black cats. She says they were fearless, and the two would just sit there and stare at each other. She says she always loved it when her cat would sit and chirp at them. If Luna was quiet when said cat did said taunting, I would probably find it a lot funnier. However, for a medium-sized dog, she has such a loud bark, especially when it's I'm getting in a tiz bark, which is what happens when there's a cat about. It is like a proper paddy. And yeah, it is just so loud. It just ends up infuriating me. And I remember one summer trying to sort of tuss the cat out of the way, was not having it. I ended up having to throw water at the cat to make it move because it was just sat there, and I felt like it was taunting me as much as it was taunting Luna. But hey, we'll have a little bit less of that while it's winter because the door's closed all the time. So yeah, hopefully we'll have to deal with the cats just a smidge less than normal. But anyway, there we go. In fact, the comments that I had from Friday or so far for people that had been watching it, have all just been, I've just gone through them all. So we will be starting on comments from the 1st of December tomorrow. There are a few members that have already commented. They've just come through as I've refreshed because members get it at some point in the morning. I'm not going to set a time because that's just dangerous. But yeah, I'm going to set Whip and Waffles live for members at some point in the morning, provided all my editing goes well. And then it will be up for everybody at 4 o'clock as usual. But we have 2 sections done. Loving the bright colours. Oh, and my Christmas nails went a bit bold this time. But yeah, hopefully you will join me tomorrow for day 3. Where are we? Oh, we're right up the top tomorrow for day 3. So hopefully you'll join me then. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.